sure that when all is said and done, we're in for an exciting ride with Hawkeye. But unfortunately, for the first 2 episodes, we get off to a bit of a slow start. Join me for the watch-along. It's going to help. All right, it's 3 a.m. In less than 24 hours, we're going to watch both these 2 episodes together back to back. It's a little movie. And it's fun. It is fun. Just lower those expectations. Except for the opening. Oh, the opening is so good. It's a mixed bag, right? It's a bit of a mixed bag. Now, I'm also very concerned about certain fan reactions with the first 2 episodes because they're so Kate Bishop-centric. I can just see the complaints and poster frames now. And it makes me feel bad because Hailee Steinfeld doesn't deserve that. She does a fantastic job here. But Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton, who we all know and love and are looking forward to getting to know better, because that's what happens when someone gets their own show, right? Well, he comes across more as a supporting character in these first 2 episodes. That was not a good choice. Yes, audiences have always been curious about the 2 mere mortals that Nick Fury selected for his Avengers project. The mystery around them only deepening because they always seem to get the short end of the stick. Even the recent Black Widow movie focused more on Yelena than Natasha, and we still didn't get to see what happened in Budapest. And then when Clint became Ronin, he did it mostly off camera, right? I mean, it's become a bit of a running gag with both of them. So to see Clint here, still reeling from the death of Natasha in particular, I love that so much, that their bond is still so strong even after her death, is really interesting. And it's frustrating that more time isn't spent on it. So yes, I feel bad for Hailee Steinfeld because what's going on with her character is also very interesting. But because it's unfortunately in a position to compete with Clint's storyline for screen time, you sometimes are watching her story and you're wishing you were back watching Clint's. You're like, but we left that too soon. I want to learn more about that. Because that's the story I'm already invested in. Not to say there's not some cool stuff happening with Hailee Steinfeld. There is. But I think they should have done a better job balancing it out for the first 2 episodes. But don't worry, their paths are converging. Renner and Steinfeld have a very good banter right away. They're both very charismatic, likable actors. And their characters themselves, thankfully, are not competing. Kate Bishop does not want to replace Clint Barton. She wants to be his apprentice. And all she has to do is convince him to agree. You know the drill. Side note, yes, the show is called Hawkeye, but in the comics, both Clint and Kate use the same moniker. They're both called Hawkeye. I know that's confusing. That's part of what makes it funny. They talk about that all the time. So they're both the star of this show, just like in the comic the show is based on. They're both the star of that comic as well. So some fans who don't know the comics have been saying, why is it called Hawkeye if it focuses so much on Kate Bishop? Well, now you know. Because they're both called Hawkeye, so it technically is about both of them. But it could have a little more Clint in it. As for Kate Bishop's storyline, the other thing that's weird is it plays very much like a Marvel Netflix show. When Jeremy Renner's on screen, it feels a bit more MCU-y because he's from the MCU. Although his brief trip to a Renaissance fair is painfully low budget. I would have cut that. I mean, the guy he's trying to find, he was so great. I felt bad for that actor and character because the scene sucked. And it isn't helped by the fact that Clint really doesn't want to be there, so that sucks whatever energy is left into the scene right out of it. It's like, come on, be nice. I mean, where is the media training for the Avengers? He should have been nicer to that fan. But with Steinfeld's Kate Bishop, all the characters are new, so it feels like a totally new property, like getting into an all-new Marvel Netflix show. So combine that with the New York City setting, a lot of corporate legal police action instead of big superhero action. It's on that smaller scale. With the superhero action that we do have is, someone in a suit, their identity hidden, low budget, no superpowers, in darkly lit confined spaces, mostly at night. It just feels so much like a Marvel Netflix show. And Vera Farmiga is exactly the type of actor they would cast in Marvel Netflix shows. In fact, she reminds me a lot of the excellent work that Carrie-Anne Moss did when she was in those other shows. And there's a CW vibe too, as well, with Kate Bishop's family running a security company, much like Kane's family over on Batwoman. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to give anything away. There's a lot of information in the first 2 episodes. We're gonna have a good time. Don't worry about it. We're gonna have a good time because it's fun and we're gonna will it. All right, that's why it's good to watch it with other people. But what's really keeping me invested in this show with these first 2 episodes and going forward from here is the charisma of the 2 leads. Very charismatic. Incredible, very, very charismatic. They also have a good little tease at the end of episode 2 where you're like, okay, I gotta see what happens next. Pizza Dog, adorable. And that eye seems to be CGI or something because when filming, he has 2 very good eyes. He's so cute. And I have a genuine interest in the mystery that's being set up. I do want to know what's happening. And the Christmas setting. Ah, yes. New York at Christmas is magical indeed. And this show does a very good job capturing that. It's very Christmassy. So it's got that going for it at the very least. I would say the Christmassiness is like a safety net. At the very least, you're like, it's seasonally appropriate. And it's new. It's new. You know, how many times have you watched all the other Christmas content? This is fresh. Also, I know we're going to learn more about Clint and his perspective as the most normal Avenger. Even when in episode 2, Kate asks him about his hearing loss, they're way too quick about it. But the way that they do deal with it is fascinating. I loved it so much. I'm like, more of that, please. And I hope in the remaining 4 episodes we get more of that. In fact, I'm pretty sure that we will. So let's go. This is just the beginning. We're just, you got to walk before you can run. And, we're going to walk slowly for 2 episodes. Not the opening, though. All right, so Hawkeye kicks off in less than 24 hours. Join me at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a live watch-along of the first 2 episodes back-to-back. We're going to do it. They're about 40 minutes each. And then, again, the opening of episode 1 is not to be missed. Make sure you're on time. We're gonna have a great time. Get your snack ready. I have a little surprise planned for you guys. It's gonna be fun. And the opening is just so clever, and it's the most MCU-like. I can't wait to just see it again, and I'm so excited to watch it with you. And I just can't wait to see your reactions. And then, of course, I'll be breaking down the episodes, and then each week, live watch-alongs, then breakdowns. We're right back in it, and then we're going to roll right into Boba Fett. So 3 a.m. club forever. I didn't do 3 a.m. stuff for What If, and I regretted it. I think if you're going to cover these shows, cover the shows. So I'll be doing 3 a.m.s from now on, certainly for Marvel content and for Star Wars content too. So you know what? Whatever, man. I just go to sleep on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. Whatever. All right. How do you handle the 3 a.m. time? And where, maybe for you it's a normal time. All right, share your thoughts down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.